Okay, welcome back to video number 2 on this series about overcoming sticky desire or attachment. Okay, and so in the previous video, we kind of went over a bunch of good things to open up this topic and get you thinking about it. And hopefully you're starting to get more interested in inner peace. And so that is actually the best place to start, is to actually get something happening on the inside that feels really, really good. And then it gives us this contrast, right? If we never have true peace and happiness, then the things outside ourselves will look desirable. They're gonna look good in comparison to the neutrality and boredom and existential terror and pain that we feel, right? And this is just the human experience. If we don't fill ourselves up with good things, our mind is gonna seek bad things, okay? And so for me, getting contrast is so important. And what we can do is just learn a little bit about meditation. When you actually meditate a bit, and it actually isn't that hard, and doing 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there and 10 minutes there and 10 minutes there and 15 minutes, when you can, it starts to add up. It's a cumulative effect. Meditation is like planting seeds, and it's almost like putting drops of water into a bucket. Eventually it becomes full and you have this reservoir of peace, okay? You can't play basketball your second time without playing your first time, and you can't get good unless you try. And meditation is the same way. You can't meditate your second or third or fourth time until you've tried it a bit. And when you have your initial experiences, you'll start to build on them, and you'll start to have more and more of a good experience. And you start to fill your own cup. When you fill your own cup on the inside with actual peace, the things outside yourself start looking worse in comparison. You start seeing that other person and you're like, drama, pain, I don't want to get caught up into it. It's not worth it, right? You see the Netflix series and you're just like, not worth it, not going to get caught in that. And you see the brownie and you're full of sugar and stuff, and you're just like, doesn't do it for me compared to what I already have going on it inside. And the times in my life where I chased things outside myself the most, even while I was a monk, right? Even while I was living at the temple, there was seasons and periods where my practice was working well and I just loved it and I was not interested in anything else. And there was times and seasons and periods where my practice wasn't working that well for me. I was either not putting enough effort in, or I wasn't approaching it correctly, or I was a little bit plateaued or stuck somewhere in my own practice. And as a result, it wasn't giving me joy. And as a result, I started becoming more interested in, oh, that person, they look really good. And oh, what about that thing? That seems pretty cool, right? And so it's only when we're feeling empty on the inside do we start to chase so strongly and violently, vehemently, these things on the outside. So that's kind of what I would do. Plus it's more gentle. It's a more gentle approach, is to start with the positive and fill yourself up before you look at the negative. It creates more resiliency, and it creates a stable environment in which you can do this examination, right? Operating on a very healthy person is probably a lot safer than operating on an unhealthy person. And just for ourselves, if we're gonna start looking for this negativity called attachment, if we're gonna start learning how to work with it, we wanna do it from a base, from a foundation of safety and stability, where we can examine things without rocking ourselves. And we need to not feel that we're being deprived of our source of happiness, right? As people start to try to release attachment, what they do is they put a mental label or a circle around something bigger than just attachment. And they think they need to get rid of everything. And then they think, this Buddhist teacher is trying to get me to get rid of my source of happiness. That is what happens. And that's an unskillful way of practicing. And it ends up with us potentially either doing it and feeling depressed and discouraged and despondent, and or rejecting the teaching altogether. And it doesn't work. We just go back to old patterns. So we want to be very skillful with ourselves. So in my opinion, for many reasons, even more reasons than just this, we want to start with getting peaceful. We want to start with building a little bit of a base and trying to taste the experience of inner peace and happiness on the inside. Because as I mentioned, it will reduce, it'll turn down the volume of what you think these things outside yourself can do for you. It'll start to feel like normally that other person was like a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 in terms of pleasure. The pleasure machine, from the emanation of pleasure coming from that person, was like 9 out of 10, right? 10 out of 10. But when you start to really feel what real peace and happiness feels like on the inside, that starts to get dialed down. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, right? It starts to feel like, can't really do much for me. So that's important. Plus, it'll give us a stability. It'll give us a safety to do examination. And inner peace and meditation is us learning how to work with our mind anyway. And so if we want to be able to like do the surgery on ourselves to remove attachment with the scalpel and cut out everything that is attachment, but nothing else, right? And just cut it out. We need a stable mind. We need stability of mind. We need mindfulness and awareness. We need to be able to see what's happening inside of us. And we need the ability to like hold and focus on it, meaningful things. So for all those reasons, meditation is the best first step. Trust me, I lived at this temple for 5 years. No one starts out with teachings on attachment, right? No one starts out with like, hey, the first thing you should do is reduce attachment. That's the safest thing to do. You're not gonna, have a negative effect at all if you do that. No one does that. It's not the right step to start. And we might give this teaching, but it's only to help people become more interested in inner peace and meditation. And then when you gain some experience of inner peace and meditation, then you're ready for learning how to overcome the negativity within us, right? And you can start with uncontrolled desire or anger. You can start with whatever is afflicting you in the moment is a good place to start. Okay, so I've already filmed a really great course. It's called Presence Mastery. It is 5 videos long, and they're not that long. It's meditation. It's mostly meditation, but a little bit of talking like this. And I filmed it, and it's sort of like the culmination of all my years at the temple as a monk, as a meditation teacher. I was a high-level teacher. When I left the temple, I was given my own center. I was the main teacher at a small center, and I taught all the classes there. I led all the prayers. I spent 6 very intensive years within this tradition of Buddhism as a student and teacher combined. And these 5 videos contain pretty much the essence of everything that I have learned, okay? They're really good and they're advanced. And the thing is, like, one of them is called Deep Meditation Secrets. And for some reason, everybody watches that one first, but don't watch that one first. They're all advanced and they're all deep. And that one talks about how to deepen your experience of meditation. But if you don't have a basic experience or if you don't even have an intermediate experience of meditation, that video is not going to do that much for you. It's for people who already are intermediates at meditation. So anyway, this course is really good and it will help you in many ways. In particular, someone watched it and then she manifested 3 clients, her first 3 clients ever from watching it. So there's some manifestation stuff within it. It's really powerful. And I'm telling you, like, my tradition of Buddhism is very deep and advanced. And I became an actual qualified teacher of this tradition. There's ways to put material together that is accessible for people of all levels at the same time, where everyone can get what they need in the moment. And that's what these are. So don't think of them as beginner, middle, or advanced. Each one is designed to give you what you're ready for. And then if you keep going back to it, it'll give you what you're ready for again until you're completely full. It's very high level, all right? They contain a lot of good things, within them, but they're accessible. Okay, and so just go watch that. It's 5 videos long. You could do 1 a day, or you can do 1 every day for a week and then switch, or you can just do whatever you want, but they're there. And I'll put a 6th video, which is my most popular manifestation video ever, called Butterfly Manifestation. It's a great video. It's less about meditation, but there is a guided meditation. It's not really Buddhist meditation, but it kind of is actually. It's actually really cool. It's a great manifestation video, and it's good for beginners, especially if you haven't learned a lot about meditation. It'll be very easy to follow. It's very easy to follow, this one. Okay, so I'll put all 6 videos. These are my best 6 meditation videos that I have. And yeah, and then through using them, you'll start to develop inner peace. Don't use them because you want to manifest, even though they will help you with that. Use them because you want to gain experience of inner peace and actual happiness from the inside, like what true happiness is, right? Because that will allow the rest of this course on attachment to be palatable. It'll allow you to receive it and actually work with yourself where you actually can overcome attachment. Imagine that attachment is a tumor in your mind. It's a tumor on your brain or whatever. A brain surgeon wants to take their scalpel and cut out everything that is the tumor, but nothing that is the brain. They want to find that fine line and actually cut out only the tumor. And they want to leave entirely everything that is the brain intact without cutting it at all. And they want to not leave any attachment in there at all either. And so, yes, that is going to require a little bit of ability for you to like see what's inside you, and ability to like work with your mind. And so, yes, you have to learn a little bit about this meditation stuff, or else the rest of this course on attachment is going to become theoretical mumbo jumbo that you might think it sounds good, but that doesn't work for you because you haven't learned how to access your own heart yet. Meditation is about getting into your heart and learning how to access the contents of your heart and work with it and bring out all the best stuff from your heart and release all the worst stuff. Meditation is that. And I'm going to help you with that, but I need you to like prioritize in the next few weeks actually attempting to meditate. You can use a timer on your phone. That's a great way. Just use your phone's timer. Set it for 5 or 10 minutes, somewhere between 5 and 25 minutes, somewhere between 1 minute and 25 minutes, actually, right? And the thing is, if you don't think you have time, you know, which everyone does, just look at your screen time app if you're wondering how much time you have. You know, look at how much time you spend watching the TV, you know. So everyone does have time, of course, but also the hard part is attachment. We're so stuck on our normal life that we have to pull ourselves back. Anyway, you'll be able to find time, and just finding it will help you to confront attachment by itself, like the easier forms of attachment, not even like deep attachment, right? And you can set the timer for 1 minute. And sometimes when I really don't want to meditate, I just think, right, I'm just going to do it for 1 minute. And if I want, after the minute, I'll keep going. And if I don't want to, I'm done. And I just do it for 1 minute. And usually, if I'm enjoying myself, I just keep it going. But the hardest part is just getting your butt in the seat and just trying, right? So you can give yourself a very low bar to jump over because it'll get you started. And, you know, ideally, we want to shoot for the 10 to 15. 10 to 15 minutes is the right period for people, right? You know, 5 to 15. But if you want to really start seeing progress, you want to go at least 10. You want to see at least 10. But like I said, it's cumulative. So you get a little bit like 1 minute here, 5 minutes there, 2 minutes there, 10 minutes there. It builds this reservoir of peace, and it builds up the skill. We learn the skill of meditation. We learn the skill of mindfulness. We learn the skill of seeing what we're doing. We learn the skill of seeing we're off track and bringing ourselves back. We learn the skill of like deciding to sit and then actually sitting, right? This makes sense. So just doing more frequent, shorter sessions is better than doing longer sessions where we just end up falling asleep and our posture gets sloppy. Just like when you exercise. When we exercise, sloppy posture is not good, and it can lead to injury. In the same way, bad meditation habits, you know, are leading you in the wrong direction. It's better to have high quality practice and focus where you're enjoying it and you're relaxed, but you're actually focused and trying. It's better to have high quality and shorter and just do it more often. This is really important. This is really true. This is really helpful. Okay, so please do try. You don't need to use my guided meditations, but they will help you. You can also just learn to do it yourself. You can also just, when you do it yourself, you just follow your breath. Just pay attention to your breath. You can breathe in and out, notice the sensation, or you can breathe out everything that's on your mind in the form of dark smoke and breathe in beautiful white light. That's healing and peaceful and nectar. You just breathe in this beautiful white energy, light, nectar, and you breathe out dark smoke, which is all the negative things in your life. Just keep doing this. And just keep doing that until you feel peaceful. And when you feel more peaceful, just like stay with the peace. That's how you meditate. And if you notice that you're distracted, just bring yourself back. That's it. And the meditations that I guide will help you. And in some time, you'll be able to like memorize a bit about it and internalize it and do it yourself. Yeah. Okay, so please do go do that now. Watch at least something or go try meditation on your own, either with a timer or whatever. And I'll see you in the next video about attachment. Okay, talk to you soon.